like pretty happy that card exists. It's the kind of card that's in my wheelhouse too, a card I would play. So I'm happy. On the right, we have Ross Merriam playing Maverick. Ross coming here from Middleton, Connecticut. And what you guys didn't see is I switched deck lists with Glenn. I'm making him go over the Stoneblade deck because I hate Stoneblade and love Maverick. But Ross made the trip up here from Middleton, Connecticut. He's out here visiting his girlfriend. Got 35th place yesterday in the Standard Open. Are these guys playing for top 8 right now?
I believe that they are not. I believe this was a match for top 32.
For top 32? Okay.
I think.
But Ross has...
Actually, no, you know, now that I think about it, I think they are playing for top 8. I think I just lied to you. I'm a liar.
Well, it's on camera. So Glenn just lied to me. He doesn't care. But Ross has a Star City Games Invitational Open top 16, and he also won the Standard Open on day 2 of an Invitational as well, playing Delver in Indianapolis. So he's definitely got some accomplishments under his belt. Looks as though he's playing for top 8 here with Maverick, which is a deck we haven't seen much of this weekend. And on Cody's side, Stoneblade.
This is Team Italia, actually. Little Dark Confidant, little Grim Lavamancer, little Tide Hollow Scholar.
I wish I had that deck list now.
I know. I was waiting to just
I'm not going to switch
slam
now.
you.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, he's playing a variation on the deck Gerard Champion, which is Team Italia. He's got some odd numbers, I would say. You know, we've got like 3 Thoughtseize, 3 Vindicate, 2 Tops, 2 Inquisition of Kozilek, 3 Hymn to Torok, 2 Lingering Souls. The 4 ofs in the deck are Swords to Plowshares, Dark Confidant, and Grim Lavamancer, and then nothing else that's not a land. On the Planeswalker end, we do have Liliana of the Veil, a card that has seen a surprising level of surprising amount, I should say, of high-level play in Legacy. I didn't really think that one was going to be a player when it got spoiled, and I've been impressed.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a Legacy card. I thought it was going to be a format-defining card for Standard, and it's actually like been the direct opposite of what I thought it was going to do. That being said, it still does have a complete rotation to define the Standard format.
That's true.
And with Black being so much better with the cards they're printing, I wouldn't be surprised to see that card dominate for the coming months. We are in Game 3 here, and in this particular matchup, I mean, Ross's deck list is pretty standard. Just trying to get an idea of what he would potentially sideboard against this deck as he starts off with a Windswept Heath. Wouldn't be surprised to see his additional Path to Exile, his Elspeth Knight Errant, or his Oblivion Ring come in, or his Thrun the Last Troll. But we will get an idea of how he's sideboarded as we have a Thoughtseize from Cody.
And those are all pretty good spells, as spells go. Cody's sideboard contains Engineered Explosives, Nature's Rune, and Perish as cards I'm pretty sure he would be bringing in this matchup. Other potential consideration, Kitchen Finks, although I don't really like that. I don't think you want to try and battle Maverick on the ground. They're just so much better than you at that.
As we see a Wasteland from Ross taking out Cody's first land. Still has a Windswept Heath in play, so... Another Windswept Heath. Is he going to elect? Alright. We're going to see either a Scavenging Ooze or an Umezawa's Jeet this turn. Do you pronounce it, Glenn, Jeet or Jite?
Jite.
Jite? Which one's right?
I think me, but that's just my default, so...
Okay, you just always think you're right. Good to know. Good to know. Shuffling up, presenting, and we are going to see a Scavenging Ooze.
Yep. Scavenging Ooze is pretty good against Cody's deck between Grim Lavamancer, Lingering Souls, that kind of thing. Can be pretty frustrating.
And we also do know that Ross has a 3rd land in his hand, a Knight of the Reliquary, and that Umezawa's Jeet that Glenn and I talked about. So he's doing just fine. So we see an Engineered Explosives on 2.
Yep. Well, he definitely brought that card in.
So he wants to... I think that draw was a Wasteland there for Ross.
Yep.
He definitely wants to take care of the Scavenging Ooze. The question, of course, is can he take care of the Knight of the Reliquary?
In these matchups, a big guy like Knight is usually the card that the matchup winds up revolving around. When it goes unanswered, dominates the game. If you can answer usually 2 copies, Maverick can present pretty on the regular, then you're in fine shape.
So we're going to see a Wasteland there on the Black-White Dual Scrub land.
Ouch.
Going to remove Thalia, get a counter on the old Scavenging Ooze, and in for business. Putting Ross up to 19 and Cody down to 15. So now the question, of course, is does Cody have lands?
Yeah, he's got 1 more at least. Looks like a Bloodstained Mire in his hand. And a Wasteland. He's got 2 more. Okay. We're in business. He's likely considering whether he wants to play the Wasteland and be able to pop his Engineered Explosives, or play the fetch land and consider other spells. He's going to play the fetch land.
Now, as Cody is searching here and deciding what he's going to do, because he does have a bevy of options between engineering explosives or the cards in his hand, how do you feel about Ross wastelanding that scrubland that turn versus just playing his third land and casting out of the Reliquary?
I think I like the Knight of the Reliquary. Just thinking about it, making your opponent try and kill 2 things on his turn is just more and more difficult as the earlier that you try and make him do it. So you're giving Cody 3 mana, and he has an answer to the ooze on the board, obviously, in the engineered explosives, but that leaves him 1 mana to deal with the Knight, which basically puts him on Swords of Plowshares or bust. The other risk you run is that a top-decked Inquisition of Kozilek or a Thoughtseize all of a sudden can now kill a Knight of the Reliquary, whereas if the Knight's in play, that's not the case.
Okay. Well, we're going to see how it pans out for him, because like Ross, we don't have perfect information of what's in Cody's hand. We can't see it in the booth. You guys can't really see it at home. So it'll be interesting to see if the Wasteland pans out as well as Ross is hoping it will, or if he could have played Knight last turn. It would be active this turn. It's also huge because there are like 5 lands in the graveyard too, so it would be a 7/7.
Yep.
As we see Knight of the Reliquary being cast now.
Interestingly, Cody chose to go with the fetch land and immediately fetch, but didn't cast a spell, keeping the engineered explosives open.
We have 3 mana. This is going to be a Liliana Veil. Oof.
Yep, see, if we had 2 creatures in play at the same time on the last turn, this line would not have been possible even. But because we didn't, now we're in trouble.
And we have, right back in Bigger's face. We are going to have a battle.
This is
as Thrun the Lastral just hits the table.
I would classify it as a brouhaha. So he's going to want to get a chumper to keep his Liliana in business, but
discarding
any
Lingering
other
Souls?
creature.
Ew.
That's 2 chumpers.
Dude, this is...
If you're counting.
This is back and forth. Not only can he cast Stoneforge Mystic, but he can cast Stoneforge Mystic, search for either Batterskull or Umazawa's Jit, and flashback Lingering Souls. This game is getting out of hand quickly.
It's getting rowdy.
And yeah, the last card in Ross's hand was Umazawa's Jit too, so now that's off. Ross, you're gonna need a good one, my friend. You are gonna need a good one.
We flashback for spirit tokens?
Yeah.
Okay, just verifying.
So Lingering Souls, so not only does he have 1 jump blocker, he has 3 and a Batterskull Lingering.
Yep.
From the last troll, not looking so tough. Let's see what the draw step is.
Run's coming in.
Likely into Liliana. Yep. Quick block and a Caracas. That's not that bad of a draw, actually.
No. Yep, that Liliana not looking so spiffy now.
Because it can bounce. If Liliana opts to make 2, he can just Caracas it back, but he's just going to activate his card ability. He's not going to fall for that one.
I think actually it's still pretty favorable for Cody. His Batterskull can block the Thrun and just
Caracas that back.
Pop onto a Lingering Souls token and just become a real deep threat. Oh, we just popped. We didn't check, I guess, on that legendary status.
He's legendary.
Yep.
Now that being said, I mean, a slight operations error by Cody, but he still does have...
He's got the business.
I mean, he still has...
Wow, a Confidant.
Confidant, he has a Batterskull in his hand, he has Stoneforge to put the Batterskull into play. He's still doing just fine.
Yep. There's even potentially some argument to make that play knowingly. It's just kind of awkward to make it and then go, oop. So we've got the Thrun, but no other land, so Caracas is all we have to protect it, and we can't regenerate when we block anything this turn.
As we are going to put Batterskull into play. Trigger turn, we have a Bobby trigger that should be going on the stop.
Yep.
That's going to reveal
Perish. That's salt in the wound.
I mean, it's good. Like, he still has Caracas to be able to bounce his guy.
Sure, I'm just saying, this is going to restrict Ross's plays so much for the remainder of the game.
By a lot.
I don't think you even perish in this situation. Like the Thrun's not that threatening at the moment.
Ross could have very easily Caracas back his own Thrun, but I think he just wanted the perish to actually happen.
Yeah. I think that was actually like a reasonable exchange for Ross. Perish will take care of the Thrun basically any time.
As we have an attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage, and Cody is going to, of course, gain 4 with his Batter Skull. It's going to be one heck of a game for Ross to try to come back and win. We see a Green Sun Zenith in Ross's hand.
For 2. Leaving open Cavern of Souls, so I assume we're going to drop Mother of Runes or a Noble Hierarch.
Solid
Oh,
Pride
we're
Mage.
just going to tap it and Pride Mage the
blow
Batter
that
Skull.
up.
Yep, okay.
Needs to start confident to be bad. And there's a Plains. I mean,
That's pretty bad.
No damage, but it's not a useful card, as the second
Yeah.
card he drew was Swords to Plowshares.
4
In
damage.
For 4, putting Ross down to 5, and we are going to see a Sensei's Divining Top to control the draw step. And he's just going to pass back. Cody's hand is a Swords of Plowshares, a Vindicate, and potentially other mystery cards, while Ross's hand is just a Stoneforge Mystic. And now a Horizon Canopy. So Ross is going to cast that Mystic, checking his deck list really quick to see if he had anything else to search for. He has a second Umazawa's Jeet.
Yep.
Active player, please finish your turn and take 5 additional turns.
No Batter Skull hiding in here. The problem, of course, is that it's going to be pretty hard for that Jit to ever get active.
Yeah, he's basically just got to hope that Cody's riding nothing, and Cody is riding a Dark Confidant, so that's all I have to ask for.
Yeah.
That said, he can survive this combat step, and if he can untap an attack, might be able to wrangle control, but what he doesn't know is that's not going to happen.
You see a top activation.
Looks like a couple lands and maybe a Liliana.
It's either Liliana or Dark Confidant. As he's considering casting Swords on the end step on this Stoneforge Mystic, and that's okay. Ross is going to go up to 6 now. Cody is still in complete control, as we're going to have a Bob Trigger revealing a Marsh Flats.
It was a Dark Confidant.
He draws another Dark Confidant. Shove it in for 4, putting Ross down to 2. There's our other Bob. He can control both Bobs with his Sensei's Divining Top and a Vindicate in hand to take care of whatever's coming.
It's all over except for the singing.
That's correct.
This is an intense board position from this Team Italia deck. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, this game actually went pretty back and forth. Like, Ross's start was really good. You know, like with the Wastelands, the Scavenging Ooze, like felt like a pretty good start. The Thoughtseize wasn't that big of a deal. As we see a concession, neither Reliquary, normally a very good draw.
Yeah.
Not going to get it done in that situation.
I told you had to beat 2.
and he did.
And he did.
So Cody Lingelbach looks like he's going to be going to the top 8.